With about 310 million guns in the country, there were 8,583 homicides in the U.S. by firearms in 2011 out of 12,664 homicides total, according to the FBI. This means that more than two-thirds of homicides involved a firearm. 6,220 of those homicides by firearm are known to have involved a handgun. In 2010, the Chicago City Council passed a new law that allows residents to keep guns in their homes after they undergo multiple background checks, take a training class, acquire a state firearms owner's identification card, and apply for a firearm permit with the police. Only a small portion of gun owners have followed through with all these requirements. About a year after the law went into effect, it was reported that 3,153 people had completed the city's permitting process, which is 3% of the Chicagoans who had completed state firearm registration. It has become way too easy to purchase a gun, and even though there are already many laws about gun possession, I think that these laws should be stricter. In the first 10 days of 2016, there were over 100 shootings in Chicago, so clearly Chicago is one of the many cities in America whose gun possession laws should be changed. There are two major federal laws that regulate firearm ownership and sales. The National Firearms Act of 1934 restricts people from owning many powerful arms. The Gun Control Act of 1968 focuses on commerce. It prohibits mail-order sale of weapons and requires anyone in the business of selling guns to be federally licensed and keep permanent sale records. The Brady Handgun Violence Prevention Act of 1993 requires licensed gun dealers to perform a background check, but they are not required for private gun sales. Private gun sales allow the purchase of a firearm to take place without a background check of the buyer or seller. Without background checks, criminals or any people that have committed crimes in the past have the ability to purchase a weapon. Some people defend the argument of the use of guns as self-defense. Data from the National Crime Victimization Survey suggests that a gun is used in self-defense about 60,000 to 120,000 times each year. By comparison, each year, about 1 million violent crimes involve guns, which means that guns are used to commit a crime about 10 times as often as they are for self-defense. This proves that a very small portion of weapons are actually used for self-defense, and that if gun control laws were changed, this problem could be minimized almost completely. Over the last few decades, the Catholic Church and the bishops have come out with many statements favoring strong gun control measures and have even thought about a society where the gun ownership is eliminated almost completely, with exceptions for police and military. More recently, Chicago Archbishop Blase Cupich wrote in an article in the Chicago Tribune, "Let's be honest, the Second Amendment was passed in an era where organized police forces were few and citizen militias were useful in maintaining the police. Its original authors could not have anticipated a time when the weapons we have a right to bear now include military-grade assault weapons that have turned our streets into battlefields. Because the use of guns and other weapons have changed so much since the Second Amendment was passed, the laws and regulations of gun possession should change too." In the graph shown, you can see each state and what their laws are for the restriction of gun ownership. You will also see that 22 out of the 50 states have close to no gun laws at all, and one of these 22 states include Wyoming, which happens to be the state with the most households that own a firearm. Hawaii has some of the most laws, but has the least percentage of households that own a gun. If this doesn't prove that there are many alterations that need to be made to gun control laws, I don't know what else does. It has become way too easy to purchase a gun, and even though there are already many laws about gun possession, I think that these laws should be much stricter.